Today we're going to be discussing how do model context protocol works. This is just like the basics of how MCP work. Today we're going to just be looking at in the first principle, how do they relate to LLMs and how you can potentially understand them for easy access of everything you'd want to do, and how they equip also LLM models. So looking at this, you can see that so let me start with, right? So this is what we call a host app. I'm gonna just show you the basics of it so that you understand how it starts and how you're probably gonna use them. So this is your host app. So this can be anything. So this is the host app. This can be your ChatGPT, let me see. Can I draw another one here? I think I can. And LLM. So this is an LLM chat, right? And how do MCP server works? Usually they are connected to an LLM. So there is a client and a server. It's the client. This is the client, the MCP client. So let me call it MCP client. MCP client, and this MCP client follows more like the traditional server architecture, where we have also the MCP server, right? So these are connected a protocol through protocol, so they're exchanging data, right? So you can see that this is connected to here, and this is connected to here, and this is also connected to here. So MCP is connected to here, and this is connected to here. So we are saying you have your ChatGPT, you have your MCP server. The MCP server has the client and the server as well. So it operates like it has the client, it has the server, the same way you have your front end and your back end. This is how they normally operate. So what's on an MCP server? Usually an MCP server, you would find a couple of things. One of those things is tools. They have tools, they have resources. We'll get down to what are those resources, right? Resources, get my spellings here. And resources, we have tools, we have resources, and we have prompts, predefined prompts. Predefined prompt. So this is what we mean by model context protocol. And so this is your MCP, right, connected to the prompt, and also the resources and all that. So what are tools? Tools can be anything. Honestly, tools can be anything. Let me try to use a mouse. I think I can be very fast. So we are connected to tools, and what types of those tools? So I'm still new to this, so it's gonna take time for me to adjust. And so in terms of tools, what can we say? So here we say we have prompt, And we all know that prompts can be system prompts, and can do instruction templates. Spelling here is wrong. System prompts, right? And it can be just general instruction. And what else? Okay. And we can also be, what else? We can have templates, right? And we can move on to tools. So tools can be file system, how we operate file systems, like your own files. What else can be web access, web search. So web search, like a terminal browser, like Chromium terminal browser. Web search. What else can I think of? Tools can be maybe API calls. What else? I don't think of. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but those are the example of tools. The idea is just to show you how this all concept work, and then after that we can have resources. So we can have resources. Resources can be documentation, like knowledge base. This can be docs, documentation. What else? Maybe data files, something of the sort, something that you can just use as a knowledge base. And so this sits on your MCP, right? So all this is sitting here on your MCP. So in essence, we're simply saying you have an MCP server, and an MCP server has a client, and then you start up your client, you start your server, and you have tools, you have resources, you have got prompts. So inside the prompts, you have system prompts, you can have instructions, you can have a template, you can also have files, which are in form of file systems, like tools that able to navigate, like a bash. It's a form of tool that navigates the file system, which is just a tree or a directory. And we have web search tools, we have API calls, you can call APIs, you can even have own API integrated into an MCP server. So basically this is how it works. And from that, this communication that happens in here, it happens, let me put here. So this is JSON RPC 2.0. So this is the form of data that we pass through. It's more like serializing and deserializing of data, and this can also this happens under STTO, which is a local protocol, or HTTP plus SSE, right? So MCP servers can be hosted in a different environment from the local environment. So you can call them using HTTP via a secure transfer, right? And STDOS, which is a local protocol where you are communicating with the local MCP server, and they exchange data in forms of JSON RPC, right? Be it on your local or on a remote server. It depends with what's happening. So we're simply saying we have a hosted app. This can be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and it's hosted on your local. It's a desktop app or it's a mobile app. Then you can have type of MCPs that are being called in various places to achieve different things, because we all know that LLMs do not entirely have access to tools. This is the way we can equip them with tools. And so in short, what are we saying? In short, what are we saying? So in short, what are we saying in this case? In this case, we're simply saying we have a hosted app that contains an MCP client. We have a hosted app which contains an MCP client. So we have contains an MCP client, and we have a client, the MCP client. Today my typing is bad. Send a request via JSON RPC, right? Then what happens is the server provides tools, resources, and what's the other thing? Prompts. So you can have resources, how to use the tool, that's the documentation and all that stuff sitting on there, and the tools that you're capable of calling, and the actual prompts that you'll be able. So this is a bi-directional communication. This is a bi-directional communication. That's today my I'm a little bit tired, but I thought I would make this video anyways, so that I can share with you guys. I thought it would be a nice. So the key flow here is we have the host app. Let's say you ask it to send an email. We have it calling the Gmail MCP tool, and then it is a way to compose emails, and then they exchange the tools that are available and which parameters to pass those two tools. So the flow here is like, let's say you want to send email using ChatGPT, right? Key flow of sending emails. One thing we know that we Chat GPT doesn't have access to your email. But with MCP now, you are able to have a Gmail MCP that allows you to send emails, right? So how does this happen? You have ChatGPT. You say send an email to my friend requesting a hangout tomorrow, right? If they are available. Right? How it works is that the ChatGPT will realize that it doesn't have Gmail, so it calls the Gmail API, the MCP, Gmail MCP, and how it does this, it calls the client for Gmail, and the client for Gmail will realize what kind of parameters do you need to have for you to send an email. This include the email address, subject. All this will be probably embedded as a tool here, subject and the email body, right? And it passed through, it's structured, so somewhere in the MCP server here lies a data schema. So here there's a data schema, and the data schema, what it does is that for a Gmail, it has maybe subject, we have target email, then we have subject, then we have body, right? So this can be defined as a schema, depending on the product, depending on the language that we are using, or the language that the MCP was built upon. So it identifies that it needs this, and it calls a method that sends you an email. So basically that's how an MCP server works. And after it writes the body of the email, it prepares here, and it passes the parameters being needed by the tools, which in here we would probably have a method in here, a programmatical method that says get send email, and here you'll be setting the structure on how to send emails, and you would also find prompts and instruction templates to send email as well. So basically that's how MCP tools work under the hood. If you like the video, drop a comment. If you want me to make more videos like this, drop a comment. I'll appreciate.